Alrighty, there's the Mazda MX-5 that I just got. So let's see its new circuit spec, and I shall get back to you in a minute with that. Okay, so here it is, the Mazda MX-5 circuit spec, and I've got all the visual parts in my HQ, so let's just simply max this thing out. Crap. I hate when it lags like this sometimes. There goes a large amount of bucks. There we go. Looks really nice, actually. And right off the bat, when you actually get this thing, you'll notice it has a slightly different engine sound from the performance spec and street spec variant. Since it's maxed out right now, let's do a quick little braking test, because the other versions of the MX-5 Street and Perf had a major problem with their brakes where they just sucked. Okay? And I think it applies here as well. That doesn't sound like good brakes at all, and it doesn't even feel like it. So this is going to be a very bad car in circuit spec as well. That's really affect this thing, and that is the bad brake. So let's go into the HQ and do some visual customization. I'll clear all that out later. For this one, I actually just want to simply make it white. Let's go to the official rims. I have to scroll really far down to get to the official rims. Oh, come on. Probably would have been faster to go the other way. Here we go. Let's stick those on. Does it actually have a plate? Yes, it does, but I won't touch that plate. And this actually changes the color. So let's do... I don't know, let's just do beige seats. Stickers, I'll get back to you on this real quick. Hold on. I've never actually used a sticker before, so I might as well apply. This thing actually looks really cool. Does it look better with red? Also, what does the bicolor paint do? Oh, it paints the roof red, the roof a different color. So let's go back, make that white, make the roof black, and that looks really good. Very nice. Let's go take it for a bit of a drive somewhere. I'll get back to you in a bit with that. Okay, let's do a little bit of, I don't know, a top speed test to see how this thing does. The interior is fairly basic. It's like the same as the stock interior on the car, except there's some stuff removed for weight reduction, and there's a roll cage, which makes it look really cool. Accelerate to its top speed. Your man will slam on the brakes at some. I'll slam on the brakes at some point. That is a really bad stopping distance right there. That is just bad brakes on this thing. Still, holy crap! Why are the developers doing this to this car? It can be so much better, but yet they made it crap. Hopefully, they'll fix that at some point. So here we are on dry run. This is actually the fourth time I'm recording this. Hopefully, this time around, I will not fail, and I'll try and be the best I can to not fail. The annoying part is that if you crash at all, get a crash cam or whatever with this mission, you fail the mission entirely. So I will try my best not to fail the mission. But yeah, with this event, we're gonna see how the brakes and handling and everything else work with this car for this event. And from my initial impressions, indeed, the brakes are bad. But every other aspect of this car is just perfect. The only thing that really needs refining on this thing is brakes, but chances are it will never happen. This is actually the exact same issue for the AMG GT. And it's just... There are some other cars that have kind of bad brakes, but they're not nearly as bad as, say, these cars. These cars feel like they're running drum brakes that are like on the lowest power settings. That's what it feels like. And that's not what they should have. They have disc brakes. As you would tell with the car under normal circumstances, and I just tapped that wall slightly. But yeah, that's the first indication there that the brakes are awful, because with any other circuit car, I would make that corner perfectly fine without hitting the wall around that traffic car. But with this thing, as soon as you hit the brakes, nothing happens. And with other circuit cars as well, you'd hear like the tires not really losing grip. They're kind of like shuffling. They make like a shuffling sound, a skidding sound. Yeah, they make a skidding sound. But with this car, there is absolutely no skidding sound at all, which goes to show how bad the brakes are in terms of their performance. I mean, you heard that skidding there, but that was from me going on the shoulder of the road. I honestly don't know what the developers are thinking about this car. I mean, it's probably they didn't really bother tuning it. They just had this car in the files, and they just thought, hey, let's release it to the players so they can, you know, play around with it for a little while until the Crew 2 comes out. Which, by the way, as of yesterday, they announced that the game is delayed, the Crew 2. Which I guess that's good for them, but at the same time it's a bit of a shame since now we're going to have to wait a lot longer for the game to be done. But I guess it'll be good in the end because the game will be a much better game at launch as a result. But back to the MX-5 as well. This thing just... it's a massive disappointment in my mind. I probably already said that multiple times, but this thing is just a massive disappointment because the performance is there, but it's severely just affected by the brakes. I mean, other people would probably be like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Yes, it does. All the cars should be on the same exact level for every single aspect in terms of brakes. They should not have their brakes this bad, ever. But in this case, they do. And that is just a massive disappointment. Well, this thing in particular has it. I mean, I get it, they're trying to achieve balance, but this is not the way to do it. By basically making the car completely useless for anything related to PvP or leaderboard times or whatever. I mean, you probably see there, I have to brake so much just to be able to stop. This car is just a massive disappointment in my mind. I mean, it's nice to have in the game, but I would rather it not exist in the game, partially because of how bad it is. And I could rant all I want, I could post on the forums all I want saying to fix the brakes. Everyone's gonna oppose me on the forums saying like, oh, they're not that bad. Yet, they are, indeed. Because they're... that's what I don't understand, and the developers are most likely not even gonna do anything. Because they're so focused on the Crew 2, they're not even gonna, like, take, like, one day just to fix this pretty major issue with the cars. How it affects their driving. Just their enjoyment factor. I mean, yeah, even in Free Drive Challenge, if you use this thing and somebody else is in the Free Drive Challenge, one of your friends uses a more OP car that has better brakes than it on the Free Drive Challenge, you will just not be able to keep up with them from how bad they are in the corners, at least. This thing is just a massive disappointment, and I feel that it really just shouldn't exist in this game, to be honest. I really hope that they fix this, but chances are they're not going to fix this, and we're never going to see a fix for this car at any point, which is a complete and massive disappointment in my mind. But yeah, to conclude this car, it's a great car in pretty much every single aspect except braking. Don't try and use this for PvP. You will have a really bad time unless you're going up against noobs, which I'm pretty sure you're not going to see that many quote-unquote noobs in the PvP lobbies. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed, and I really hope the developers actually fix the brakes on the MX-5 and the AMG GT. So thanks for watching.